Hey, what's up, guys? And today I'm going to be showing you how to cite sources in MLA 8th edition. I'm going to be doing it for an online paper, but if you're using like an ebook or a regular book or a government website or a movie, it'll be slightly different. And you can just consult the textbook or Google it, which is usually what I do. If you don't know how to do a different thing, but most of you are probably going to be using online articles, so that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do. So first off, you need to get all of your information. But first, check that it is in Times New Roman, 11 or 12 point font. Ask your teacher whether you should use 11 or 12, and then they'll tell you, set it to that. It's important. It'll mess up your thing if you don't do it now. And then double spacing. Set it to normal if they don't want you using double spacing, but you should probably be using double spacing with this. At least I'm going to. So, use double spacing with that. First off, you need the author of the paper that you have. So you would put, let's say it's John Smith. So I write John Smith as the author. Now you would format this as Smith, John. Because it's your first author, you do last name, first name, and that's how you would do it as the first part. And then you would end it in a period. If you had multiple authors, like let's say it was John Smith and Henry Ford, you would write it just like that. You wouldn't write Ford, Henry. You would write Smith, John, and Henry Ford. First person's name is last name, first name. Second person's name is just as it is. You end in a period. If you have more than two people, then you would do et al., which means and others in Latin, and you would also put comma right here, Smith, John, et al., John Smith and others is how you would end that, and you would only end that in one period, never use two periods like that. You'd only end it in one. But in this case, let's cut out the Latin because not many people really use it anymore, and do and Henry Ford. So that is your authors. John Smith and Henry Ford wrote this paper. The paper name goes in quotations, and you write communism and you, period, quotation mark. Let's say that the author wrote it as communism, capital and you. You need to write it as the author put it. If they made a grammatical error, or if they made a capitalization error in their title or in their quotes, you need to leave it as is. If they make an error, that is their error, but you are quoting them. You do not want to twist their words and quote incorrectly, even if they made a mistake. And so, if and is capitalized, you got to capitalize it. So that's the title. Pretty easy. And then next up, you have the publisher. This needs to be italicized. Let's say it is the New Jersey Times. That's your publisher, right? You have the publisher in italics, comma, unitalicized, next section. The next section is the location. So let's say it wasn't published in New Jersey. Let's say it was published in New York. You would write New York, comma. Next up comes the date. You get as specific as you get. If you only get 2002, then you only write 2002. If you get winter 2002, then you would write winter, comma, 2002. If you got so specific, you'll usually get a month, December, comma, 2002. That's how you do it. You do it from the most specific to the least specific. So December, comma, 2002, comma, is the next portion. You need the date. Next up, you got to have the link to the website. Let's say https // cite.com/ a bunch of other text, a few percent signs, a few slashes, and a lot more text. There we go. That's probably what your website link is going to look like. So you have this. This is all your information. Now you need to correctly do this. Now you want this whole section to be spaced in one part. And, if you go right here and you indent it, like you should, it indents the whole thing. And if you try and hit the tab button, it tabs the top. It seems like there's pretty much no way to do it. There is. You have to hit backspace, be sure that it is merged with the previous word, hit enter, watch the key things for how I do this, backspace, then enter. Now it's on a separate line. So now when you increase the indent, it'll do that, and it'll automatically format everything below it. Google Docs, I believe, does not have a text wrap function, which sucks because you need to wrap the text. The first part of your website needs to go up here. The text needs to wrap like that. So Google Docs does not have a text wrap function, but I recommend that you use Google Docs because you can use it on school computers, iPads, pretty much anywhere. It's always saved. You'll never lose it. You can convert it to Word. Yeah, it's pretty great, but there's no native text wrap function, I believe. So you gotta find where you want to split it. That's about that big. That's about that big. Let's say I split it like right here. So what you would do is, instead of hitting the space key, you would instead hit, forgot a sec. Let's say that you find this link in a thing, right? You go to this website. I'm not gonna hit enter because I have no idea where it'll give me. Yeah, it's not a real website. So you copy the link. Let's see, that's out of here. And then you paste it on in, and then you press space. The link is now active. It's working. You need to remove the functionality of the link. You can do it by removing the underline and removing the text color, but you can just click here on the text and then hit remove, and it doesn't work. So back to what I said before, you need to find where it is, you need to hit the enter key, and then that will go back to the previous line. Remove the functionality again, and there you go. Your source is all nice and cited. You put all the information that you can find, like if you have a more specific date or a more specific publisher, you have multiple authors, you do all that, but this is really all you need to cite your source. And if you are annotating it, I believe you would go down here, and that's where you would write all of your stuff. So if anyone needs this as a template, it'll be up here, but this is the correct way to cite your sources in MLA 8. So yeah, hope this helped you out in citing it. It's really not that bad. You just have to know how to do it.